Hello once again, dear friends. So today was Wallycon, and my plan was just keep it real lean and mean, only get stuff that I like, make sure I won't have any buyer's remorse at all, just leave there with a backpack, but there were a lot of great deals there. Really, really good. Ended up paying like less than $1 for a lot of them as well. So yeah, no, maybe a key-free zone here on this video, as Sean was saying. Maybe you'll be saying in this video, but we concentrate on good writing, good art in these. So, yeah. Again, my ammo was like, don't have any regret getting anything there. But that con might be like one of my favorites, and yeah, today was no exception, I guess, because a lot of rad stuff. So, we'll see if this will be a long video or not. Um, I might break it up. You'll see in the title if I make like part one or part two or stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, usually what I try to do is kind of do a lap around the con and work my way up, find out where like the bargain bins are and like work my way up from like 50 cent or dollar or $2 bins and stuff like that. Because a lot of time you can find stuff in those bargain bins that maybe the next booth over might be retail or whatever, right? So, but it was pretty crowded in there actually, which is cool. I didn't quite do that, but it still worked out. I think I did just about as if I had done that. Anyways, this is the first vendor, Black Magic Volume 2, is it? Or maybe even Volume 3. These are some reprints from like, well, this is Black Magic number 8. A lot of the time they reprint stuff from like the 50s, maybe even like 40s, I think. For instance, in here, got some like early Simon and Kirby. Not really even looking like Jack Kirby yet. Yeah. Interesting, interesting. $2. Copy of Faust. This is, I think, second print of Act 3. Rebel print of Act 6. Just kind of getting like a second set together to like just make my for sale bins cooler. Always wondered about this since I was a kid. I remember seeing this when I was a little kid and being like, "What is that? I wanna see that." Gore Shriek Volume 2, Number 1. This is Gurchain Singh, I think, did this art. There's also some Bissett art in here, some Stephen Bissett. We'll just showcase that a little bit. We'll keep moving, but as we do. Okay, so some Night of the Living Dead art by Stephen Bissett here. Coming to get you, Barbara. That was the sound when they show this. The guy eating raw chicken. Johnny. Yeah. So, finally get to see this. It looks like it's mainly done by Gurchain Singh. Reese's Pieces, number 1. Whenever I see like a horror from Eclipse, I'll check it out. And this looks to be an anthology by Reese. I don't know what his first name is, but my friend Don told me that he was an assistant to Wally Wood, so we'll check that out. Tales from the Crypt, number 22, at $3 or a little less. This is about as low as you're going to be paying for these, so I'll take that opportunity. Veronica, number 3. Some Danzig. These can be like hit or miss, but I saw the names on here. Esteban Maroto, Jay Lee, Frazetta cover. It looks like Jay Lee did the first story. 1995, Jay Lee. And some Esteban Maroto. I'm a fan of him, so. Gotta censor a lot of this stuff out for YouTube here. This ad with Bisley looks pretty awesome. Sometimes he's really on fire. Okay, continuing to the next vendor. Yeah, so this next section here, all up to here, was from a new vendor, Jonathan, and I've kind of seen him once in a while around on local uh, auctions, and usually when there's something that I would have liked to bid on, but I didn't get to it fast enough, he's the guy who beat me to it. So I know he always has good taste. Always a little bit of like friendly rivalry there, but it's just, friendly. Great guy, and like if there was like a rookie of the year or like a draft or MVP or something, his bins are so awesome, dude. They're so awesome. Maybe one of the best vendors you're gonna see. So if he does another show, if you're like me, get to his booth. But I just hope that you get there after I've been there. I got to the con a couple of hours late, maybe, and he had already cleared a couple of long boxes. I know not a lot of people are looking for the same kind of stuff that I am, but part of me is still like, what did I miss? What did I miss? But let's get to it. A lot of rad stuff here. Yeah, so the way he had his bins organized, it might be a very good way to do so. Just mental note, like the leftmost bins were a dollar, and after to the right of that was $2, 3, then 5. And I've often thought like, should I have stuff like if I want to sell alphabetical or by genre and stuff, but maybe that's the best way. His bins were busy as hell the whole time, but maybe it's just because he had great deals too, honestly. So here is A1, Volume 1, Number 3, Brian Boland cover. I guess this is a anthology. I saw that there's some Bacchus in here and some other stuff. Brian Boland also. A1, Volume 2, Number 3. This is a Bisley cover. I could stop and talk a lot, but I'll just keep it pertinent to what I kind of know about. Amazing Heroes number 5, 1993 swimsuit issue. You've got a Joseph Michael Linsner cover here, and you know we'll check out the swimsuit issues here on this channel. Gray Morrow doing some kind of Batwoman or something there. What else? What else? Dark One, Just the Light. I should try to get like a camera set up where I don't have to hold it, but anyhow, I feel like this looks familiar. This guy, I wonder who it is. Maybe this is Mark Beecham. Here's that Joseph Michael Linsner again. Some Evil Ernie, some zombie swimsuit stuff with gore, some paranormal gore. Yeah, and this stuff, even though I went thoroughly through the dollar, $2, 3, and $5 bin. What a great guy. He made me a good bulk deal, and when I just counted it, everything adds up to like less than $1 each. So some good deals here. This comic often goes for like $20. Also, I see it was featured on Cartoons Kayfabe. We've talked about this before previously, kind of like Watchmen before Watchmen, but it's almost like a Silver Age or kind of like just a romp, I think. I've not read this yet, but Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, Nightshade in question would kind of be like Night Owl, Dr. Manhattan, Silk Spectre, and Rorschach, right? But it just coincidentally came out before Watchmen. Speaking of, kind of like a graphic novel or little trade paperback graphic novel, Alan Moore for Avatar Press, another suburban romance with Juan Jose Rip. Haven't read this, but the art looks bonkers, and Alan Moore is always interesting. Archie Meets Ramones, number 1. This was in quite a bit of demand. A lot of people were looking for this at all times before when it came out. But yeah, this is pretty minty, so we'll see what it is. And if I don't keep it, it'll be easy to get rid of. There's one guy who was like always asking me if I had this before. A classic, Batman: The Dark Knight Falls. So this is this book 4 of The Dark Knight Returns? Or yeah, it is. But it's a little bit beat up. But it's cool to get like a legendary, like first printing of something legendary, right? This will be in the first sale bin because I think I have a copy that's better shape. Who wouldn't want to buy that for $1? I'll buy that, by golly. Bernie Wrightson, The Macabre, number 3, DC. Anthology of Bernie Wrightson stuff. We'll check that out. The coloring isn't as good as Bernie Wrightson Master of the Macabre, though, I will say. But, eh, still good. Still should be good. Another little graphic novel, Concrete Odd Jobs. It says, a special edition of Concrete stays as a rock star's bodyguard and his time on the farm with added new material. I've just been putting together a lot of concrete, so we'll probably read that all on a rating day and then see how it holds up. Alan Moore's The Courtyard. This is a favorite of mine, actually. Another little graphic novel from Avatar. Alan Moore in the Cthulhu kind of mythos. Let's open it up while we talk here. Because the reason why... One moment. Well, not the reason why. That won't sound good, right? But just the writing is so creative that, often it's kind of hip to call out Lovecraft as being a racist, even though that might have been integral to his subconscious kind of like fear tapping into and stuff. And anybody who's familiar with the biographies and like letters of Lovecraft see that kind of changed as time went on. But anyway, Alan Moore embraces all that kind of stuff fully in this, making the lead character who you're actually reading through his point of view a very racist FBI agent. And it's not any kind of heavy-handed morality either. That's a personal pet peeve of mine. That it's actually like you kind of identify with him as he's in New Orleans trying to investigate these paranormal kind of serial killings, but through a racist lens. And it's kind of enjoyable to be able to step into somebody else's shoes, right? Yeah, but far out stuff and very funny. I found it very, very funny. And towards the second half, it starts to get into the kind of occult philosophy, cosmology, dark theology kind of stuff. Just weird, psychedelic, the cosmic kind of like brutal nihilism or something that Lovecraft and Alan Moore can marry to do. Let's show a little bit of that. It's kind of hard, sorry. With this prestige format, it's hard to hold it open in one hand, but yeah, it gets pretty far out. This is a good one, man. This is a good one. A lot of little prestige format or trade paperbacks for less than $1 here. Best of Dark Horse Presents, Volume 1, 1989. Here's a pinup or art comic, Dark Horse 20 years celebration. You've got a lot of people in here like Chadwick and Tony Millionaire and the Stan Sakai and Frank Miller and yeah, kind of legends doing a bunch of pinups, tributes to, like, they're doing pinups of other creators' properties. They're kind of trading off in this, so it's kind of neat. Dwellings, this is a Brian Level variant cover. I still have yet to read these, but I know Jay Stevens is getting some shine and stuff, so, if I don't like it, it should be easy to pass on to someone. Garbage Pail Kids, Love Stinks. This has a note, though, that it's missing the trading card sticker, which is, that's a shame, but not a huge deal to somebody like me. I guess this is a Valentine's issue. Anthology with, like, different creators and stuff, and it's all gross out humor and whatnot, which I kind of like. I kind of like it. Oh, up front. Let's see what we got here. I just gave it a little flip through before the video. This chick's armpit hair is made out of worms. Still wood. Bunch of different tongues, barf. Her face kind of looks like a pimply butt. Maybe on purpose by the artist there. Yes, 1,000 barfs, yes. And they throw up into each other's mouths to the point it's pouring out of his eyes and ears. Alright, Got this chick's braces, making out with her and getting stuck in her braces. There's a one story by Peter Bagg here. Looking forward to that. That chick With her snot running out of her nose. It's always fun to see Peter Bag be gross. Well, he's usually just funny in whatever he does, so we'll see how this goes, right? Halloween's coming up. Here's a little indie um, horror anthology, Halloween Terror. Sorry if I pause it or talk slow. I'll try to like keep it going though. I guess it's been a long day. I carried this around pretty far, pretty heavy. Um, Kelly Jones, the Hammer, one of four. I always like Kelly Jones, so we'll see how it is when he does the art and the writing as well. Number two of four, number three, and number four of four. Complete set. And a one shot of Kelly Jones the Hammer, Uncle Alex. And here's Kelly Jones the Hammer, The Outsider, one of three, two of three, three of three. This almost looks like a character from Dead Man Exorcism, but could be wrong. Hellblazer, City of Demons by Cy Spencer and Sean Murphy. I'm only really familiar with Hellblazer to the extent of Volume 1, about like one issue, maybe 180, I want to say, or so. But, I want to find some good runs of the characters still. There must be some after that, right? So here's a full series, number 1 of 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Got some babes and tentacles there. Maybe low effort kind of stuff, but we'll see if it's creative or not, right? Hellboy Winter Special. Yeah, we'll always check out Hellboy. Always looking for some good Hellboy. Book 1 of Lil Abner by Al Cap. So another kind of collection here. We'll see. I remember really liking this as a kid, and this is like one of my first crushes. Her and Betty and Veronica when I was a little tot. Modesty Blaze by Peter O'Donnell and Jim Holdaway. The Might of Mrs. Drake and Uncle Happy. Is this all like from... Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Just, looks interesting. Miss Tree Quarterly, number 4. So the couple issues I've read of Miss Tree so far, written by Max Allan Collins, were like thoroughly enjoyable and suspenseful, enthralling, action-packed, and yeah, page turny, and yeah, really cool. So check it out more. Mystery Quarterly number 7. Alan Moore and J.H. Williams III, Promethea number 1. I've always heard things about this. I don't know if there's volume 1 or 2 or something, but yeah, number 1, sure. Street Comics presents Rip Kirby, 50-cent cover price. This looks to be like as if it's from old newspaper strips or something. Looks kind of weird. Who knows? Yeah, that looks kind of good, right? This art looks kind of good. I don't know if it's American or it almost looks like you're European and American at the same time somehow. Yeah, let's see about that. Rip Off Comics, number 4. Can you believe I paid like less than $1 for each of these? Come on, guys. Just you wait. Yeah, so we'll see about this too. Another underground anthology from back in the day, I guess, maybe about 1990. The Shadow in the Coils of Leviathan by Kaluta, Goss, and Gianni. I always like some Kaluta or Gary Gianni, so another set of this. That's number 1 of 4, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So yeah, and the For Sale or for friends. Sin City Hellenbach, number 8 of 9. I'm only missing number 6 now, I think, or something like that. 6 or 7. Anyway. Yeah. Revisiting this. We'll check it out. Here's number 9 of 9. Somerset Holmes, number 6. Is this the only issue I was missing? Is this limited to 6 issues only? So yeah, we'll be checking that out as well. It's cool that he had these, because I've kind of been looking for these, but everywhere I see them as like full retail, like $8 an issue or something. But yeah, Tim Truman, Alcatena, and Parsons. The Master, or Spider, the Master of Men, Book 1, Book 2, and I think this is the final, maybe? Book 3. All these like prestige format and kind of trade paperbacky things. Cool, eh? Another early kind of Warren Ellis Avatar, Strange Kiss. I remember reading this when it came out and I was kind of like, yeah, whatever, but revisit it for less than $1. Hell yeah. Strange Killings, again, Warren Ellis doing some Avatar stuff. Putting together another set of All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison and Frank Whiteley, just for friends or for sale. So this will complete it, I think, or just about. Number 10 and number 11. Peter Begg, Stephen DeStefano, and Bill Ray, Sweatshop, Welcome to Comic Strip Hell. I don't remember if I read this when it came out. Are they kind of like telling stories about cartooning life or working in the comics industry, something like that? Here's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. More Kelly Jones, The 13th Son. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. This is how you know he's a great guy, too. He doesn't just pull out all the number 1s to keep in a hoard and speculate on. Some people do that. Those motherfuckers. Well, anyways, that's number 4 of 13th Son. Another graphic novel or trade paperback, Garth Ennis, Jason Burrows, 303. I think I read this when it came out and I was kind of mad, but maybe not. We'll see. I'll revisit it. 40 pages of classic 1950s romance, Torrid Affairs from Eternity. This is number 2. Aren't they the same? This kind of looks in the vein of like Spicy Tales or what's it called? Like those. I think that's from Eternity also, right? Here's number 3. More pages of classic 50s romance. El Torres and Abel Garcia, The Westwood Witches. I've read a couple things by El Torres that were pretty cool, so I'm checking it out. That's number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Is that the final? Let's see. New X-Men number 116 with the, I guess it's kind of like famous or iconic and infamous White Queen cover by Frank Whiteley. A little beat up, and are the colors different on here? Is this like a different kind or something? Maybe I'm just tripping, but yeah, maybe a second copy. Trade paperback of the first 5 issues and preview and some other stuff of Battle Chasers, Joe Madureira. Yeah, this is just for Christmas, getting some Christmas shopping done early for somebody else. This says it also includes the Rare Battle Chasers preview and the material from Frank Frazetta Fantasy Illustrated. Okay, cool. Golden Age Greats, Volume 6. Yeah, this looks like stuff from like that other world that I'm not familiar with, of maybe newspaper strips or weird kind of pulpy strips of like Phantom Lady and stuff like that. The trade paperback of Goddess by Garth Ennis and Phil Winslade. Talked about this before. Pretty cool one. How awesome. Like, I mean, when you see trade paperbacks for like $5 or something, I get excited, but he's selling for like $2, and then he's doing bulk deals as well. What a legend, man. This set also or this trade paperback of Gwar Orgasmageddon. No idea what this is, but a Gwar comic? Sure, and it has not only the trade paperback, but a bonus comic that he put in there too. This just says Gwar. There's no number or other title on it either. Rejected by the Comics Code, this says. Hellboy, Seed of Destruction. Maybe a second copy of that too. Marvel Comics Presents Weapon X, number 82. Always getting that Barry Windsor Smith, Marvel Comics Presents. Nancy in Hell. This is volume one. Again, El Torres and Juan Jose Rip. Just kind of bad shit. like, just crazy, crazy art and stuff. Just crazy. Same with this one, Nancy in Hell on Earth. I've showed this in previous videos, so if you've been following for a while, I'm sure you've seen this. It's too hard to flip through when it's like a trade paperback, but yeah, what a great deal on these, like less than $1. Insane. Negan Lives, number one. I'm not that as familiar with the Walking Dead comics, but I would check out some Negan. Walking Dead, the Walking Dead special in there as well, free. More rip-off comics, number 7. To be honest, I don't know if I even like Undergrounds that much anymore, dude. Maybe I just like seeing people get axes in the face and stuff rather than reading about any kind of like rebellion or anything. Maybe I'm getting old. Sin City, trade paperback. Is this the first one when it has this cover? I feel like it might be. First printing. Something is Killing the Children, Volume 1. I know Pop Comics has been shouting this out for quite a while, maybe even years. So, on that recommendation, also I asked there, I was like, have you read this? Is this good? And then, like, the person that was looking through comics next to me is like, yeah, it's great. Just get it. So, try it out, man. This one's wicked. Garth Ennis and Glenn Fabry. Thor Vikings. From the Max line. So, it's R-rated, and Glenn Fabry, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with his cover work and painting, but his line art and comics is awesome. I've talked about this before, maybe a couple times over the years, but haven't really got the chance to show too much of it off. Let's show a little bit off. And like I said, this is from the Mature Readers line, so it gets a little gritty. This is a favorite panel of mine. In the end, it mattered little. It's a pretty funny panel. Glenn Fabry is kind of a master of anatomy and stuff too, it seems. He does a really good job in this. Everything is just pretty stellar, his artwork throughout. It's a nice 2-page spread. It's like paranormal Vikings that Thor will have to contend with. A trade paperback of Madame Xanadu, collecting the first 10 issues on this run written by Matt Wagner. So we'll check that out. Yeah. Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, trade paperback. I think I have all of these already. I try to always, like, I got, back when it came out, I was so OG. I got, like, the first printings and stuff, but then I sold them and stuff at one point. But, so, I kind of like, I don't know, I just try to get the ones with the covers that I like the most, and then have doubles of the others. Hellboy Omnibus, Volume 1, Seed of Destruction. Is the omnibus versions the way that it's kind of like chronological, or that Mike Mignola says is like the good order to read them? I think I remember that being the case, but let me know if you know. I wouldn't mind like trying to read all the Hellboy stuff in like the best order or something. Okay, yeah, that was how good was that vendor, guys? Give it up. That was his first show. What a great job he did, man. So the next vendor, this is from a bunch of 50-cent bins that he had. But just counting them now, I see that I only paid just a little over a quarter each for them, because there's 39 of them. I think it was $20 for all of these. Crypt of Shadows. These reprint small stuff too, don't they? Yeah. Some of this is from like the Atlas days, maybe pre-Comic Code. Yeah, always fun. Kamiko Grendel, number 2. I've heard this is some of the best stuff. I remember hearing a channel like kind of go over the storyline, and it sounded really cool and neat. But I don't know if I can really get into this art style. It seems so like of a time, right? But We'll see. I don't know. Okay, Grendel number 10 from Kamiko, and number 15. Caliber Gringo number 1. I didn't know what this is, but I was like, kind of indie, gritty western. I've been liking some gritty westerns a little bit sometimes. Just flipped through it and kind of looked alright, Has its moments maybe. House of Secrets number 154. Maybe a clue to cover too? Yeah, it is. But, we always get the DC horror anthologies. It's kind of like flipping a coin to see if they'll be awesome or silly. Commandy number 10, some Kirby here. Always get some Commandy from the bargain bins, man, when it's in decent shape. Here's Commandy number 22. Likewise. Marvel's Greatest Comics, starring the Fantastic Four, number 72. I always get these too when it's the Kirby stuff. Mechanics, number 2 of 3. For mature readers, Jaime Hernandez. Yeah, I'll check that out, sure. More Mystery. This is Mystery number 1. Number 3. When I see Max Collins, I'll check it out. He hasn't steered me wrong so far. Number 11. Number 34. Number 49. An iconic cover of Namor. Was this one swiped or is it a swipe? Namor number 1. We'll see. I like some John Byrne, so. Yeah, for a quarter. Okay, the PIs, number 1 of 3. I saw this as Mystery, but I saw this. Mike Grell's tribute to Mickey Spillane. That had me enticed, so yeah, we'll see about that too. I do like some Mike Grell and Mickey Spillane. Plastic Man, this is a later volume, of course, 35-cent cover price, number 19. Punisher Born, number 4. So, only missing 1 issue for a second set of these. I do recommend that. It's a good, of the Punisher stuff. I thought I'd check out some Sherlock Holmes, some old Sherlock Holmes. Why not? The novels are great. The old short stories and stuff. And this looks kind of good. Maybe this reprints old stuff, right? We'll see. Silver Star, number 2. He actually had a bunch of these there. Maybe I should have tried to make sure I have a full set of these, but I was just kind of like, I guess I got a little bit turned around. Otherwise I would have been on it. I think I should, but I don't think it's too hard to find these in bargain bins either. Total Eclipse, book 1. I thought this was an anthology, but it looks to be kind of like a big crossover event with a bunch of Eclipse characters, I guess. You got Airboy, Valkyrie, some others I'm not familiar with, though. A bunch of 2001 A Space Odyssey from Kirby in those 50-cent bins. Quarter bins, actually, the way it works out more like. Here's number 1. It's speed up, though. Some decent-ish copies, though, of number 2. Number 3. This was the first issue, not this copy, but first I ever read, and I was like, whoa, I need to check out more 70s Kirby this far out. Another copy of number 3. Number 4. No, we're not going to see number 8 in here. Don't get your hopes up. Number 5. I wish. Number 6. Key-free zones. I'm not against keys, but they don't really like, just on the fact of them being keys, that's not really enough for me to be interested. Number 9. Number 10. I do want number 8 though, just to make my set complete. But I don't even ever see it I will buy it like at a higher price even, but I never see it. Anyhow, maybe this is the key. Vietnam Journal number 1. All the ones I've read of these have been like pretty gritty and pretty suspenseful and enthralling too. So we'll see about these more. Vietnam Journal number 13. On, I think Big Elbow's recommendation, he was saying that Warlock 5 Volume 1 is much better. Here's Volume 1, Number 1. I believe this is Volume 1. Weird War Tales, number 83. I'll always get these. Number 86, number 123, and an issue of Yummy Fur, number 13. Okay, next vendor. Alright, it finally happened. I found a big run of Mike Grell Green Arrow for dirt cheap too, because I was like, look at it, it's all these. Up to like number 40 or something, 50 or something. And I was like, how much are these? And the guy's like, I think the set's like $20. I was like, each of them? And he's like, no, the whole thing. I was like, hell yeah, dude. I finally get to read these. I've been enjoying the hell out of these Mike Grell Green Arrows. And they're for mature readers too. Yeah. They're not dumb. So this is 20 to something else. This is Ralph. Is this the first printing or something? I don't know. 50-cent cover price. My friend Dawn gave me this. Cause yeah, it is the first printing. Cool. It is a little bit beat though. Like, just like, you know, he says it. He's rating it like a FC good VG 3.5, VG minus 3.5. Sure, that sounds about right. But I had basically like let him look through a bunch of stuff I had found at another show, and he's like, "Yeah, can I have some of these?" And I was like, "Okay." They look like you'd enjoy more than me anyway. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll give you some credit with me for trade later." And he actually just like messaged me one day, and he's like, "Hey, how about I give you Ralph, number 1 or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh man, that rules," because this is really high on my list of like wanted Corbin comics too. I guess it would be originally in a maybe in a magazine format, colored, but yeah, this is still cool. This is one that I really want to read, so it really worked out, especially like him putting that forward as his idea. That's synergy, baby. Love it. Love it. He also gave me this, a comic shop news with a big Jim Woodring. Some Jim Woodring art. He was just like, "Here, check this out. Here, take it." Comic Rack, where were you today, man? I didn't see you there. Because I think I have some banner issues for you, but I also found this one if you're missing this one. Banner number 1. I got this in a $2 bin. Maybe just slightly less because I bought maybe like 6 or something for $10 or some jazz like that. But yeah, Banner number 1 with Azura by Azzarello and Corbin. Battle Chasers number 5. Some more Joe Madureira Christmas shopping. Danger Girl number 2. Is this like a key or something? Because I see this priced kind of high everywhere. But yeah, I'm a sucker. I'm checking out some J. Scott Campbell. I don't know if I've even really read like any Danger Girl or Gen 13. But I think Rowley Zero or Robert Norton and maybe Darksiders Comics have been covering this. And my bad if it's not all 3. I know Robert Norton has though, and making this look pretty good. So yeah, and he can, he's famous for being able to draw chicks, but yeah, good point that he can draw kind of anything. So yeah, I'll give it another look. Elektra Assassin number 1, getting that second set of Elektra Assassin together. Charlton Comics Haunted Love. I do like this. This is not bad, it's a little bit silly, but it's not like, it doesn't like insult your intelligence how silly it is. It's more like tongue-in-cheek or something, or like, I don't know, they kind of do it well, even if it is like a little bit, I always hate when horror is like campy, necessarily, but it seems like even when they get like that in this series, it's done pretty good. Longer Nails in Minutes. No more short nails, cracked nails, or nail biting. There's some pretty gruesome stuff here. If your nails look like that, don't email me. House of Mystery number 299. Some I, Vampire. Joe Kubert cover. Was it Bruce Jones writing this? I, Vampire? Yeah, it was. That's cool. some more Charlton, some romance here. Just married, number 84. We loved each other so much. How could it end like this? Once we were happy. This seems like it might be a bummer, man. Damn. Midnight Tales number 2. Putting this set together too. I kind of like this series. We'll see if in entirety I still like it, though. We'll see. Because I've only read like a handful, really. New Gods number 5. Some more Kirby. Yeah, some $2 bin stuff. Okay, some weird underground stuff they had. Adults only. Tits and Clits comics. This, I flipped through it a little bit. It looks like totally deranged and filthy inside. But, you know, I just saw that it looks like nuts, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind just looking at something crazy just to be like, what the fuck is it? What? Young Lust, first printing, number 1. That's pretty cool. Is it a first printing? 50-cent cover price? That makes sense. It says so, but I do see this little part of the cover missing. That's a bit of a bummer. Just a little bit ripped off there. Well, I mean, I don't feel ripped off. I just mean part of the cover is, you know, the surface is gone. A little bit of indentation, but it's cool to get a first print if that's in fact what it is. Yeah, this is just like kind of an underground parody on romance comics from, is this the 70s or maybe early 80s? But I think they've got like, I know there's Bill Griffith in here, and like, was there Spain and maybe like Kaminsky or Crumb? I know it's maybe some Spain, but a lot of good underground people, even some that aren't as well known. And it's funny, it's filthy, it's just insane. Bill Griffith is pretty nuts. You might know him from Griffith Observatory or Zippy the Pinhead, Yao comics, that stuff. Okay, maybe dealing with that craziness, I had to like get some normal people stuff. got a little bit of mainstream stuff from one vendor. But Catwoman number 1, this is from a $2 bin, the Art Germ variant. I'm a bit of a sucker for Art Germ. His stuff is fucking wicked, man. His art is sick. Yeah. Some Frank Miller and Klaus Janson Daredevil. This is number 185. Some John Romita Jr., maybe Anna Senti Daredevil, 271. Let me be normal. Let me speculate and get some Fantastic Four Doctor Doom covers. That's what everybody's gonna get right now, right? 330. Well, I don't know much, but I know that. Fathom, Michael Turner, Volume 1, Number 1. This was covered by like maybe Raleigh Zero or Robert Norton as well. And yeah, they sold me on maybe checking it out, see if I like it or not. I Love You, 107. Yeah, romance comics for $2 or less. Absolutely. Charlton as well. 119. 127 of I Love You. Love and Romance, number 6. It's kind of a weird, almost photorealistic, or like almost like they just painted over a photo. Looking kind of Elvis-y. This looks a little unsettling. But it has a free full-figure portrait poster of David Cassidy inside also, for you ladies interested in that. Love Diary number 89. I'm just reading the captions a little bit. Johnny thought Diane was just a sweet kooky kid, so why were there 2 mad dog killers chasing her? Find out why. Teenage Love, number 93. Spawn, number 4. Yeah, I remember liking this issue when I was a kid, so kind of miss having it. Transformers Till All Are One. RC and Starscream on the cover. Is that Hot Rod, maybe? But yeah, I like these characters, so why not try to give it a shot? Weird Science, number 8. Wolverine Road to Hell. I like these characters too. You got Psylocke and Phantom X. Yeah, I'm always looking for some good Wolverine. I don't know where to look for it. Besides, original runs and stuff. Uncanny X-Men 144. That's cool finding a number an issue number that low for a price like that. Okay, next vendor. I think Comics Rot Your Brain was talking about Blue Devil, and yeah, they have some interesting recommendations. So I'll check out Blue Devil #1 here. I think this is from the same series or run that they were talking about. Kelly Jones the Hammer, #1 of 4. I forgot that I got these. So second set. #2. Like, I wasn't sure which ones I had. #3. #4. Oh, these are dollar bins stuff. These ones from this vendor. The Hammer one shot. Uncle Alex. Mechanics, #1 of 3. #2 of 3. Yeah, I forgot which one I had got before, but you know. #3 of 3. That kind of thing can happen, but as long as it's not like with big ticket items, not too much to worry about. Getting really close to getting the X-Men run complete. I'm like hardly missing very much at all now. Just a couple of keys, as far as from like issue 150 to 281 or so. Just missing a handful of keys now. 231 and 236. Okay, next vendor, Dave. Year 1, Part 4, Batman #407, $1. A little bit, like, dirty, maybe needs cleaning, but doesn't look like there's many problems with it beside that. Can't front on Batman Year 1 part for $1. Frank Cho and Sabine Reach Fight Girls #1, the Mike Diodato variant. This is kind of a fun series. I'm getting into Frank Cho. He's pretty good. Gangland #1. This was a good crime series from Vertigo, so getting a second set of these together too. This is a cool series, man. Nice little crime anthology. Trying to still get familiar with any good runs of Hellblazer, so kind of just taking shots out there. Hellblazer DC Universe Rebirth #1. I remember Morris Hassard being good as well. An extra copy of Nyx #1, just for like the For Sale or For Friends bin, like this series, as well as this John Byrne OMAC for $1. You can't beat that. By golly. And this as well, Sword of Solomon Kane for $1. This is really minty as well. This is by Ralph Macchio and Steve Carr and Brett Blevins. They do a pretty good job. The art looks pretty nice. Never really see Brett Blevins do this kind of art, but looks pretty good. I have read this in the past and did enjoy it enough to put together a set of 1 to 6 for myself. All-Star Superman #1. I didn't realize this is like a free comic book day version though. So I do have a second set of All-Star Superman, but #1 is this weird free comic book day version with a stamp from Earthworld Comics, Central Avenue, Albany, New York. Some people are against when comic shops stamp their free comic book day stuff, but I'm not. I think it's kind of interesting to like see, and like, you know, you could remember certain shops or think like, how did it end up here? I'm not really against it, because don't really stamps not really depreciate value of books either, like date stamps. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but to me, what? So just because it's not blank white here, it's like trashed? I don't think so. An extra copy of Thor Vikings #1, because we got the trade paperback before, but I thought, why not have an extra copy of #1. If there was an extra set of the issues, I would have got that, but there were just some kind of miscellaneous ones there. Show a little bit more. Yeah, again, this being a mature reader's thing. Here's your intro page. And the splash, just these guys causing havoc. Arin and Pelagian. I think we showed that before, maybe. Like this, so. Yeah, it's mature reader stuff. Fabry's pretty awesome, man. His line work kind of kills. This guy picking up this police car with the police in it. He just throws it pretty far. Bad dudes. Okay, next vendor was Jeff. This is from his $2 bins. He threw in one $2 book extra here for me. This is Dart. I figured why not get an extra Dart for the homies. As well as this, Mike Grell, James Bond 007. This was thoroughly enjoyable to read, so maybe I'll try to recommend it. I mean, like, I guess it doesn't look very enticing to the average audience these days, maybe, but his storytelling and layouts and pacing are just pretty awesome. He's kind of on fire in this. Just quickly through show off a little bit here. Yeah, his layouts are wicked. I really do like the way he does things. It's pretty fun. Forgive the glare. Yeah, just like use of close-ups too to create like tension or intimacy or like emotional connection to the observer. These are nice end papers too. Just embracing the design elements, kind of like James Bond aesthetic. Good shit. Martial Law, The Secret Tribunal, Pat Mills and Kevin O'Neill, set of number 1 and 2 of 2. Yeah, I figured like maybe I'll revisit this because some of the other, I remember like the first 1 or 2 martial law miniseries, like they didn't really like hold up for me that much. I like Pat Mills a lot though at times, and yeah, I don't really remember this one, so why not? Some extra copies of Planetary. Rest in peace to John Cassaday. Fantastic artist, really. And this is like a really great series. A lot of people even rate this as like one of the best comic series of all time, right? It's magical. Like the kind of like trendy cynicism or like pompousness that Ellis could do sometimes, even though he's one of my favorite artists. Like he was a rock star at that time, so and just the era. Like there's kind of certain eras where maybe stars will go through things that when they're on the threshold or a forefront that when you look back maybe they seem kind of like dorky or like embarrassing or something, but what else are they supposed to do at that point where they're like nobody else was there or something? But anyways, regardless of that, Cassaday's art, Ellis's writing, A Marriage Made in Heaven on this series. This was inspiring to me as a youth. It does us good to have our genitals frozen into small blue dead things. I remember like walking around in the dead of cold in Canada and kind of like that this sentence kind of coming back to me and being like, yeah, maybe it's good for the soul to suffer in the cold a little bit. This death or kind of cult in Asia, they basically discover like Monster Island. So yeah, this series, each issue stands alone. I imagine a lot of you are familiar with this series, so, but each issue is like stands alone and has its own thing going on. Um, he finds the corpse of this thing in like kind of like a Godzilla, and he's telling his followers they have to. It's a holy site, and they have to like eat the flesh of it. Pretty cool stuff. There's always cool stuff in this, man. Planetary's rad. So, I always wanted to have like some Planetary for sale or for friends, and yeah, we'll continue to do so. Rest in peace, John Cassaday. Thank you for giving us lots of great art, lots of great storytelling, and magic moments, man. Like Planetary and Astonishing X-Men. I'm not as familiar with Astonishing X-Men. There are moments that are really moving, and you can't really take that for granted. Like it takes talent and creativity and like artistic vision to be able to do those things. So some good stuff, man. We'll be missed. We'll be missed, and have to appreciate that. Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. Superman Year 1. This is the Frank Miller variant cover. This is an extra copy. Maybe I have a different cover though, but this is one of my favorite Superman series that I've ever read. I don't know if a lot of people ever talked about this. Um, I kind of like I discovered it by reading issue 2 first, so maybe I had a different experience from other people. But issue 2 is like lovely, man. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful comic book. This as well, I'll have to revisit issue 2. Like I've reread a few times, but yeah, we'll see about number 1. But anyways, yeah, extra copy of this. This is cool shit, man. Frank Miller, John Romita Jr. You know, the kings of year ones, kind of born again and stuff like that. All right, I'm glad to find these. Maybe my favorite Barbarian series. You know, I was actually in a comic shop, and there was like a Mexican dude in there. He was like, the comic shop owner was trying to recommend him Conan, and he's like, "No, I want like Belladonna," and I was like, "What? That's what I say." I don't know. Why is there anybody else saying that? That it's just pure, violent speed, momentum, no hesitation. That's one thing I like about it. I can't show much on here because it's from Boundless, so it's like adults only a lot. There's a lot of sex and like violence, and yeah, it is pretty gratuitous actually. Here's some Rello because they're just doing one story in here. There's one part say like she's wounded and like this guy takes her into the tent to try and like resuscitate her, and then like while she's unconscious, okay, so, get the kids out of the room. He starts to he's like, we'll see if she's okay, and he like tries to finger bang her while she's unconscious, and she just wakes up immediately and is like, what the fuck, kicks him in the nuts, and this is all just in the space of like a couple pages, and he turns into a werewolf. He's like, oh, you fucking Viking bitch, and he turns into a werewolf and wants to tear her apart. And then his werewolf wife comes in and is like, "You asshole!" She turns into a werewolf. It sounds retarded. It sounds ridiculous, like, juvenile and like maybe base instinct or whatever. But it works, man. It works sometimes. Uh, and I just like, or there's one part I think where they're like, Belladonna, how are we gonna breach the walls of the city? And she just like gets into the catapult and is like, cut the string, and just launches through a wall because she's kind of like what's the word? Not totally invincible, but like Hellboy levels maybe of invincible kind of shit. It's fun, man. It's fun. Maybe it sounds stupid when I try to explain it, but if you see this, like these are $3 each, and that's a good price because these are hard as hell to get here. I only see them for like maybe one random issue out of order for like $7 or $8 or $9 or something. So if you can see these cheap, if you're into that kind of thing, give it a try. I'd say you might like it. Honestly, I tried to on my first reading as well. I was like, "This is stupid," and then it was only later that like I reread it again. And I was like, "This is awesome. This is good. This is so good." Yeah, number 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and number 4. Okay, good people, getting to the end. You know what it is. You know what we had to do. We had to see that same vendor and make another bulk deal on these Penthouse comics, because I'm thinking about it too, in the climes that we live in, the era and whatnot. Whenever is something like this going to happen? When are you going to have talents of this level doing stuff this like uh it goes against the political climates that we're in nowadays, right? Adam Hughes, Kevin Nolan, Arthur Soydum, is that Gary Leach, Horatio Altoona. This is Penthouse Comics number 1. So yeah, just making a bulk deal to get a bunch of these while I can. I need to get all of these. And these are the uncensored, like non-American or non-Canadian versions as well. Mark Texiera figures prominently. This cover is by him. Of course, there is like a larger and like NSFW version of this art as well by him. Barry, Mark Beecham, McGuire, Pearson, Texiera. This is Penthouse Men's Adventure Comics number 1. So there's Penthouse Comics. there's Penthouse Men's Adventure Comics, and there's Penthouse Max. When I was there, his bin was like, because sometimes they have the number on them, but like in the second half of each series, it doesn't. So you have to kind of suss it out based on like the month and year, and also like they're not published exactly every month, so it's a little bit hard to figure out. So I took out the whole stack of short box, and I'm like, is it okay if I like organize these by like the release date and order like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And he was like just kind of looking at me, and I was like, sorry man, I hope I'm not being really annoying right now. I'm just gonna like put all these in order. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I hope we could do a bulk deal too. I felt like a slime ball, and it was like getting towards the end of the con, and a lot of people were like looking at me, or it felt like it. The things we do. So this is number one of Men's Adventure Comics. It's kind of like volume two, I guess it would be called, even though it was coming out at the same time as the regular one was coming out. I don't really know the difference. Maybe there's more like it is supposed to be more like adventure stories rather than just like any kind of story. Glenn Fabry and Simon Bisley in here on this one. This is Men's Adventure Comics number 3. Here you've got a Soriyama cover. You've got Hildebrandt. I don't know if it's Greg or Tim or both. Boris Vallejo, Simonson. I'm guessing Walt. Mike Mignola, Dave Gibbons, Bill Sienkiewicz. Yeah, when are you gonna get people doing X-rated stuff like this ever again, or anything? Right? I don't know. This is like this to me. This is like valuable though too, because if you were to pay for like one underground comic that was like 20 pages long, you're probably paying like this amount or more. And maybe they're like, not as, there's different spectrums of talent and like different styles of art and stuff. But I mean, like these are like some of my heroes of art, man, doing this. So okay, Vittorio Giardino, Deadly Dalliance. Yeah, I always like wondered what this is too, and this art is like so nice. Love the way that it's painted there, that shade. Again, kind of, he's probably using just blue, honestly. Even blue on top of this beige, rather than worrying about like mixing the perfect beige, or maybe even he mixed the beige and blue on the palette. For instance, it's probably like this color here. Yeah, for the shade. Anyhow, I'm just guessing. Color mixing it seems like it's kind of like math, almost. Anyways, not that I know anything, just for interest. Paul Gillen, The Survivor, number 1. This is cool because I had found the number 2 separately recently, just kind of randomly. Catalan Communications. This just looks like some batshit shit, man. This is just crazy stuff. The art and talent and skill level, but also like the stories are just like nothing else too. Just what? Just insane. Okay, so that was that. That's pretty crazy stuff. I would show more, but I can't of those things. It took me years to be able to see inside these. If you really want to, you'll have to make that journey grasshopper as well. Can't make it for you. Yeah, back to John's table, and the con was packing up at this point, and I just want to say again, what a legend, man. I was just kind of looking at these, flipping these, and he's like, "Oh, do you have that?" I was like, "Yeah, I have it already." He's like, "Hey, you want it? Just take it, man." And I was like, "No, no, no, it's all right." And he's like, "Okay, $1." And I was like, "Okay." I gave him $1. And I was looking at this Tarzan versus Predator, some Lee Weeks. I do like seeing me some Will Lee Weeks sometimes, and I guess Walt Simonson also. And he tried to give me this for free too, but I negotiated to pay him $1. You gotta be hard nosed, tough sometimes. But these he did give me. He's like, just take them. Fire and Stone, AVP, Alien vs Predator. This is pretty cool. This Ariel Olivetti art in here too. I remember reading this like some years ago and thinking it was all right, not bad. It is like an overarching storyline though. I guess this whole Fire and Stone thing, not just Predator, not just Alien vs Predator. But yeah, I'll revisit it, see how it is. John, you're a fucking legend, man. I hope he does more shows. I hope he always has. I don't know if it took him years to like amass that many books to sell in his bins and stuff. But really, dude, those are like some of the sickest dollar bins I've ever seen in a long time. So I'm stoked, and I mean like not necessarily for speculating or keys or anything, but just for the kind of stuff I like to see in bins of just like crazy stuff that's like fun to read, fun to look at. Yeah, and yeah, Predator, Fire and Stone. So that does it this for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching, and likes and comments are always appreciated. Love to hear it from y'all, and just talk comics and stuff. Okay, so thanks again, and hope you guys find some wicked stuff out there too. Okay, best regards.